Thanks for making it to Veterans Info Tap. Today I'm going to talk to you about coming into the new year. Maybe you're getting a tax return. Maybe you have some back pay from a VA claim that you have processing. And you might be looking to purchase a home. Might be your first home, might be another home. The VA loan is a great option for you, and I will kind of dive into several different reasons, maybe 5 or 6 reasons why I personally like the VA loan. I've had 3 of them, so you can use them and over and over again. And if that's something that you want to hear a little more about, please hit that thumbs up for me. It really helps get the word out, all that good stuff. And subscribe if you've been here more than once. I really appreciate it. So looking at the VA home loan, a few of the biggest things, and you may already know these, but maybe there's one that you weren't quite sure of. One, there's no down payment. So you don't have to come up with 5% or 3% or 20%. And rates are still historically low. I mean, even in the 5s, that's still a really good interest rate. So putting that into perspective, a lot of times people will look at, well, if I only have to pay 5 over here, why would I put 20% down if I can take that 20% and invest it somewhere else? So where you can potentially make more than 5% or whatever the interest rate is. So, you do want to look at that and weigh out your options and so forth. Obviously, if you put a lot of money down, your payments are less. So depending on your own circumstances will decipher, whether you should or shouldn't. But again, no down payment. And here's the kicker. A couple years ago, they took away the ceiling of the loan limit. There used to be a loan limit, meaning that they would not go over a certain loan amount. For some high-cost areas, what this has done was it basically put VA buyers at a disadvantage because they could not get the loan amount that they needed, even if they qualified for it with their income. So 2 things to remember here. No down payment. There's no loan limit. So you could, if you are approved for $1.5 million, you could get a loan for $1.5 million to purchase that home for $1.5 million. So, and with that, also remember that your VA compensation is a tax-free benefit. So therefore, when they go to calculate your income, for every $1,000 of VA money, it's really going to be $1,250 would be a gross amount. So it helps you with the qualifying. Okay, so number 1, no down payment. I know there was a lot of stuff around that. Number 2, I would say, again, the rates are as competitive as any other rates, interest rates are concerned. So that's good too. So it's not like you're getting, hammered because you're not putting any money down. So that's another good factor. There's limited closing costs because the VA home loan doesn't allow certain fees to be charged by the lender or through escrow. So that's another benefit for you, is that it limits the amount of fees that you're charged. Now, I will say that there is a VA funding fee, and that's 1% of the loan amount. So, if it's a $1 million home, right, that's $10,000. If it's a $500,000 home, it's $5,000. If it's a $200,000 home, it's $2,000. So it's 1% of the loan amount. Now, that fee, that VA funding fee, can be waived if you are a disabled veteran. So that fee goes away. They will also go off of your effective date. So let's say that you don't have a VA rating today, but you filed your claim and you buy a house tomorrow. You filed your claim here. You're buying a house here. Your effective date will be back here prior to you buying the house, or closing escrow, really. So once you close escrow, as long as your effective date is before that date, then you can petition your lender and get that VA funding fee refunded to you, which is great as well. So just good information to have. Another thing is, when you're looking at the higher loan to value loans out there, or options, like a FHA loan, for example, there is what's called private mortgage insurance, or PMI. And PMI can range, and I mean, it could be, $50 a month, or it could be $150 or $200 a month, depending on a variety of factors, including the purchase price. So there is no private mortgage insurance, no PMI on a VA home loan. So that's another huge advantage to going with VA. Again, this is a lifetime benefit. You know, for me personally, after I got out of the Marine Corps, I bought a home in 98. So I bought a home in 1998 on a VA loan. Okay. Bought that house 100% just to kind of give you some perspective. So I bought this home, not the one I'm in now, but I bought a home, 100% financing through the VA, and stayed in that home for 5 years. I then refinanced that home because the market was going crazy. I refinanced the home, put it onto a conventional loan because now I had a lot of equity in the home. So I took it out of a VA loan, put it into a conventional loan, and took money out of that home. I then took the money from that home and used that as a down payment on another home and moved into the new home and rented out my old home. Then I ended up doing it again, right? So, and I kind of parlayed and whatever and used equity from different homes to buy another home. So the idea here, and you know, this is just my own story, not financial advice. I'm not telling you to go out and try to buy a bunch of houses, but I'm just giving you different perspectives and ideas of opportunities that might be out there. For me personally, I found that real estate was, especially back in the late 90s, early 2000s, was a really the only way that I could leverage large amounts of money and earn interest on it, really. So, you know, think about it. If you have $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 property that's considered an investment, now you have a $400,000 investment. Okay, where else are you going to get $400,000 to invest, right? Out of your pocket, you're going to go make a bunch of money and save that $400,000, then go invest that. So for me, especially in the early 90s, being able to purchase a home, have that be an investment, and have that, you know, the real estate market it's a stair-steppy thing, right? So overall, it's an upward trend. Of course, there's peaks and valleys along the way. Timing the market, you never know. All of those things. With risk comes reward, and vice versa, right? So, but the main point here is that for me personally, I found that was a good way for me to be able to leverage large amounts of money. Then when it came to buying multiple properties, the idea was, for me, it doesn't matter if I have equity. Let's say I have one home, the home I live in, right? The home I live in, let's say that I have, $200,000 of equity in that home, okay? If I have $200,000 of equity in that home, what's the difference if I took $100,000 of that equity out and put it into another home? And now use that as the down payment. Now I have two homes with $100,000 of equity in each, so my equity is the same. I still have $200,000 of equity, but now I have two homes. And let's say that they're both worth $400,000. We'll just to use easy numbers. So now I got two homes at $400,000. I still have the same amount of equity, but I've doubled my investing power. Now I have $800,000 that has a potential of an upward trend of earning a percentage back, really, because it's an investment. So that's the way I looked at it. So anyway, just wanted to share some information on the VA home loan, some of the great benefits about it, and whether you just want to buy a owner-occupied home or you're looking to potentially buy another home. Just wanted to share that information. So with that, I'll go ahead and cut it here. Thanks. Have a great one. And remember, if we don't take care of each other, something went wrong.